see you again. We are back with a bar and beam workout for you in your home. So if you have a pull-up bar, we have this one that's a tension one, but it's really secure. If you have one of these or one that fits over your door, you can do these. I would warn you, do not do anything that's swinging or like the shape wiggles, because those can come down. You have to be very careful with this. Make sure you have an adult supervising, watching to make sure you're safe. We also like to put a little yoga mat or whatever mats you have underneath, maybe some cushions, just in case it comes loose. But we're pretty sure this one's pretty tight here. We're going to start up with a bar warm-up. Today you would need a stuffed buddy, a stuffed friend. So Jessica, who's your friend's name? Brutus, also known as Broody. And what's your unicorn's name?
It's Mrs. Glow.
Mrs. Glow, nice name. So get yourself a friend. If you need to, press pause, go get a stuffed buddy. That's going to help you today in your training. All right, first one. Okay, Megan, if you'll go first, we're going to do everything twice. So if it's 10-second holds, that's what we like to do in class. We always do them twice. So here, I'm going to have one person do it, then the next gymnast will come in and do it. I want you to do it both times and count to 10. Here we go. Do our best. First, take your animal and stick your little furry animal between your knees. We're going to work on squeezing those knees nice and tight. And chin up over the bar, not touching. And now let your animal come to the bar. Try to curl your back. Make your tummy hollow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come down with control. Jessie, you're next.
Oh.
Broody between the knees. I've got to help you out. Here we go.
No, you don't actually. I can get
Come on. And bring Broody. Chin up, above the bar. Knees up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next, straight arm tuck hangs. On this one, I'll put your animal on your knees, and then you can give your animal a hug. Ready? And knees up, give your animal a hug. 1, 2, try to hug all with your heart. 3, 4, good. 5, 6, see how our hips are coming forward? That's what we want. 7, 8, 9, 10, and switch. May I see Broody? Thank you. Let's give your animal a hug. Big jump. And knees up, give it Broody a hug. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, I love how these feet are staying together. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Next, bent arm. Come back up, chin up above the bar. We don't want our chin to touch. And tuck up and then stretch your legs out and see if you can hold your animal on those legs. I'll place it. We want to keep our hips tucked under and keep this round shape in our back as we stick our legs out. We don't want our hips to roll backwards. That's weak. We want to keep pushing them under and keep your hollow shape. Here we go, Megan. And chin up, knees up, and tight, tight, tight. Keep those hips under, tighter knees. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Here we go.
I can do this.
All right, show us. And chin up. Tuck your knees up first so you get that nice round back. Now straighten them out and hold Broody. 1, 2, knees. 3, 4, come on, lift. 5, 6, 7, knees. 8, come on, really use your hips and your tummy. 9, 10, come down. Good work. That's the face of a girl working hard there. Next, we want to have our straight arm pike hang. This will be a little easier. Here we go. Arms, same thing, round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to lift it. 5, 6, good. 7, 8, 9, hold her up. 10, good job. All right, go. Let me see Broody.
Booty. I can do it.
All right, you can do it. Go. And squeeze. Hold Broody up. 1, 2, 3, let's do hold our toes to the bar. Here we go. And you can squeeze your animal between your toes and between your ankles if you want. So your animal can go hold the bar too. Knees out. Backs of the knees, press them out. 1, 2, 3. Press your knees. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job, Megan and Jessa. Here we go. I'll take care of your animal when we get up there. Here we go. And up. Toes to the bar. Knees pressing out. Straight legs. 1, 2. Good. Straight. 3, 4, 5. I like these legs. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Come down. Next is toes tuck-ups. So you can take your animal for a ride. Sit your animal either between your feet or knees. This is your choice. We're going to try to tuck up to that same great tuck shape with our hips tucked under and our backs round. Do that 10 times. Your goal is to get your knees up to your heart. Here we go. 10 times, 10 tuck-ups. And 1, just go straight. 2, go straight. 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just hang for a second. I really like how Megan is hanging here. She's not pulling and making gaps between her ears, but she's pushing. She's letting her shoulders go up into her ears, and she's making her body long. We want that on our bars all the time. We don't want to pull into the bar. We want to work on hanging so we can have a better swing. And Jessa, tuck-ups. 1, 2, hang along. 3, 4, 5, 6, we're not changing shape. 7, use your tummy. 8, good. 9, 10. Nice job. I like those tight knees. Our next exercise that we need to work on is our full leg lifts or a pike up. If you're not quite strong enough to do a full leg lift yet, Megan's going to demonstrate how to do the progression from the tuck up to get the muscle you need to go all the way to a full leg lift. So she's going to tuck up. She has her little unicorn between her knees. So she's going to bring her knees up to a tuck position, then open her toes to the bar and hold them with straight legs and pointy toes. Then slowly lower them down so she can get the muscle to be able to do a full leg lift. Let's do 10. Here we go. And tuck up. Hold your toes. Count 1, 2, 3, and slowly lower down. And here's number 2. Go. And tuck up. 1, 2, 3. Slowly lower down. Tuck up straight. And slowly lower down. Since we're not on a stall bars, but we have nothing behind us, you can have a parent put their hand back here on your back. Keep going. And up. And slowly lower down. And up. Tight knees. So we lower down. This also keeps them from swinging. So you want to do 10 of those. Then next, if you have the strength, go ahead and do these 2 sets. We want 2 sets of 10. Straight leg, full leg lifts, toes to the bar. Not hooking onto the bar, just tapping it with your toenails. Here we go, Jessa. 10 leg lifts. Go. Tight knees. 1, 2, 3. Good job. 4. Make sure you regrip if you need to. 5. Good job. Keep going. 6. If you need to, you can go to a tuck. You can go. 7. You can go to a tuck. Oh, we don't want our heads to hang out. Keep your ears between your arms. If you need to, go to a tuck. And hold and lower down. Up. 8. Here comes 9. Tuck, hold, 1, 2, 3, slowly lower, and 10. Tuck. 1, 2, 3, and slowly lower. Good job. So try to see if you can get the strength up to do a full leg lift when we come back. Now, if you have a kit bar at home, you can do a lot of these same things with a kit bar, except you'll probably be sitting on the ground and doing L to L leg lifts if you don't have a higher bar. For here, I want to show L to L leg lifts, but I'm going to be the floor for Megan. So we're going to try to just do 5, because they're a little bit more challenging. Try to work up to 2 sets of 10 during this next month. Here we go. And once again, you can put your stuffed animal, your stuffed buddy, between your knees or your feet. L to L, it's what it just sounds like. We're going to start in an L shape and go up. What we want to watch is this head come down to back to L. You don't want your head to come back. We always want to keep our ears between our arms. In 2, 3, 4. Always count, watching our knees. Make sure the knee backs are pressed straight. And our toes, big toe beside big toe, instead of crisscrossed. 5. And come down. And Jessa, bring Broody. Let's see some L to L. And when it comes to kips, we want to try to get these L to Ls pretty fast, because it's the type of leg lift that you need for your kip. Go. As fast as you can with tight legs. 2. Keep those ears between those arms. 3. 4. Are your knees straight? 5. Come on, one more. Let's do that really good. Good job. And down. Good job. All right. My favorites is a plank pull-up. It works on your core, and it gives you the strength you need to pull. It's more like a row. So it also works your upper back. And so in order to do a plank, you can't really have a high bar like this. I'm going to hold her feet as if she had her feet on a block, or if she was on a kit bar or something lower, or if you happen to have P-bars at your home because your brother's in gymnastics, then you could use that and maybe put your feet up on something, and that way you're doing more of a rowing action, because we want to be working on our pull-up action vertical, but we also want to go horizontal as well. So for this one, your unicorn's going to watch you on this one, because I have your feet. Here we go. And then flat, straight body, and lift. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. 4, 5, 6, 7. I like how you're trying to keep your hips up. 8, 9, 10. And do 2 sets of 10. If you can, go ahead and do a 3rd set, because those are really good for you. They also keep your shoulders flexible as well. And our last thing before we get it, if you have a high one, you want to do those too? Your turn. So flatten those hips and keep your body in a nice tight plank. Pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and down. Then of course, if you have a high enough bar, you can do your pull-ups, that's hands forward, and your chin-ups. That's with reverse grip. So Megan, show me some chin-ups. Just do 10 if you can. If you can't do 10, then do 5. If you can't do 5, do 3, and then just keep coming back to the bar several times throughout the day. All those numbers add up and you will get stronger. And let's see, I want you to have your unicorn to help you out with these so you don't have crazy legs. Here we go. 1, 2, try not to swing too much. Yes, 3. Come on, you can do it. Changing grip. Go, go. So if you're having trouble, you can can do what we do in class and do a straddle. Have someone help you straddle. 4, 5, good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. And your turn.
Can I
Mm-hmm.
booty?
There you go. Let's get you up there first. And pull up. Go as many as you can. You're going to do a chin up. We want to be able to do chin ups and pull ups. A reverse grip. You're in a mixed grip, girl. Pick one or the other, please. Here we go. Go. 1. Straddle.
Yeah.
Here we go. Rudy's going to watch.
Booty what?
Here we go. Straddle. Go. 1, 2, 3. Good job. 4, 5, 6. Good. 7. Almost there. 8, 9, 10. Good job. So try to get up to, you can do 10 pull-ups and 10 chin-ups. We want to work up to that without the straddle being in the straddle holding the legs. So those are what you can do if you have a bar. One more. Here's a few, but you have to have somebody with you on these. Make sure you have a parent and make sure it's okay with the type of bar that you have. If you have an over-the-door hanging bar, you can't do these other ones. If you have one that's really strong and steady with an adult only, can you do these? Just going to demonstrate quickly because you can count these at home. And go. So we're going to do a pull-up, lever. So I'm going to help you out since we work. Pull up, candle, squeezing those feet, pull up, candle, pull up, candle, good, and down. Try to get 10 of those in, and Jessa, you can show, these are very important, especially if you're working towards a kip. On the pull-up candle, that's great for your underswing, and level 3s and 4s both have an underswing. You need to work on as many candlestick holds as you can. We're trying to strengthen our core so that we don't get this little sag in our back right here. And Jess is going to show, this is one for a kip. This is very good for a kip. So we're going to go L to a pike, and then push up to candlestick like we're pulling on our pants, as we say in the kip, and then back down to toes to the bar, and back down to L. And L, pike, toes to the bar, head in, and candlestick, toes back to the bar, and L. Toes, make sure your head stays in here, and up, push the candlestick, push the candlestick. There you go, and back down, into an L. Notice you're looking at your knees. When your knees are at the leg lift, look at your knees. Keep your head in, looking to your toes here. Back down, knees down. Good job. See how many you can get of those. You'll be that much ready, more ready for your kip. Last one. I only want you holding static shapes. No wiggles on this one. Megan, if you can show me a long hang, show me a hollow hang, and just hold it. Show me your arch hang, and just hold it. This is for tap swings. Here we go. For your underswing, you will need to have the hollow, holding, keeping a round back. We're not piking, you're just tucking your hips under and stretching as long as you can. Make sure you're not pulling on the bar. Arch hang, make sure you're pulling long, but your ribs are in. There you go. Ears always between your arms. Good job. But no wiggles. Just work on the strength.
For our first set of 3 exercises, we're going to do 2 rounds of these. If you can do 3, that would be even better. So we're going to do 10 rollouts, either with an ab roller, or you can use a slider or paper plate. Sit on your knees. Nice rounded mad cat. Remember, it's just separating your shoulder blades. Make your little turtle back and roll out. 1. Pull in using your tummy muscles. 2. 3. Heels together, toes together, good form. Go as low as you can. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. For this next exercise, we're going to do the floor bar mini circuit. Many of you, we've done these in class, at least in the morning group. Since I do not have a floor bar, I do have a floor beam. So that's going to be our bar. And we have a yoga ball that we're going to put our feet on. But Jessa here, if you don't have a yoga ball or a floor bar, but maybe you have a Bosu ball or a balance spot, you can use that for your arms and get some extra work in your shoulders and put your feet up on like an ottoman or a couch or a bed or a super soft chair. So let's go ahead and get in our cast positions. The mini bar circuit will be hold for 10, tap right leg 5 times, tap left leg 5 times. These are with pointy feet and tight knees. Then we're going to pike up 5, and then we're going to extend 5. And here we go. In push-up position. Mad cat, where's your turtle? Hands forward. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, right legs, super straight legs, pointed tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pike ups. Now Jessa might need a slider under her feet, so you can get your slider and pike up 5 times. Get your hips over your shoulders. Try to hide your head. Get your ears into your arms. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now extensions. These will also need to do this with a slider. You can move your little balance spot. You won't need to use a balance spot. You can actually walk your hands out. If you need to, you can do this as a push-up position and walk your hands out. If you want to bring your feet to the floor, you can, Jessa. And just do push-up walkouts and go 5 times. Extend to a handstand position. Really pointy feet, please. And then 2, stretches long. Good. Keep that mad cat. We're not trying to change shape here. Good. 3, 4, and 5. Our next exercise we've called heel drive lifts at the gym, and it helps with your casting. But here, I've heard it called recently a hamstring lift. Your hamstring is the muscle right below your tushy on the back of your thigh, and that's where I want you to lift from. So we need to lock out our knees, point those toes, hug your ottoman, your bed, side of a couch. Megan's using some extra pillows. And if you have to, you can even just lay on the floor and just lift your legs. But we want to keep tight locked knees and pointed toes. Here we go. Here's 10 and 1. Lift high. 2, squeeze your favorite animal. 3, 4, 5, lift as high as you can. 6, squeeze your bum. 7, squeeze your bum. 8, 9, 10. Now you need to go back and repeat all of those exercises, do them one more round, then move on. So press pause here and get the numbers in. For our next round of exercises, starting with shifting our wrist and wrist strength, separate your feet, Jessa, because this is, I'm just using what we have at home. They have some wrist rollers around, or you might have a weighted bar, or maybe some small can of food, something. Here I found a little 2-pound weight, and I found a spool of ribbon. So I tied that around the weight. So Jessa is just curling it forward and backward just to get wrist strength and practice shifting. Megan is doing candlestick levers by holding on to a foot of the ottoman. You can also use a bedpost, foot from the couch. Our goal is eventually to be able to do these levers from the shoulders only, not having to pike and then go up. That is our goal. But right now, if you have to, you can pike and then lift to a candlestick. You can also, if you're having trouble keeping your feet together, let your stuffed animal help you out and be your training buddy today. And squeeze your feet. Squeeze your feet. Your ultimate goal is to go from your shoulders and lever all the way down and up. Go back and forth straight from your shoulders. Squeeze your bum nice and tight and those thigh muscles. Good job. And then last, after we do each of those, do that for 10, you can do the wrist rolling for 30 seconds to a minute. And Megan, you can do those candlesticks for 10. Do 10 candlesticks. Then set your buddy beside you. Or grab your booty. For this next exercise, you need your stuffed buddy. We are going to work on our V-ups. These are great for our front hip circles and for our hips. So take your buddy and you're going to lift your head and shoulders off the ground and your feet come off the ground, and we'll go up to a V-up. Put your buddy between your feet, go back to our rest position, your head's not touching, arms behind your ears, and go back up. Get your buddy. Let's do this 10 times. Hide your buddy, stretch them all the way out so your arms are straight and up. 1. 1. Ha! There you go. 2. 2. 3. 3. 4. Squeeze those knees. 4. Last one. 5. 5. Since I counted double, that was 10. Now you may relax. Our next exercise is quick leg lifts from a full extension. This is working on the quickness of our legs for the kip. Remember, you are to look at your knees. And 10. 1, 2, quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next exercise is for the kip. This is how we want to get up. You can also get that quick leg lift for your front hip circle to help you get snapped to the top of the bar. So we need to start out as extension, like we're in a glide, hips up, and quick leg lift, and snap up. Lean, 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 and lift your tushy off the mats. Try again, and extend, stretch, toes up, snap, snap. It's a quick leg lift, and it's a really quick snap up. It's like you're trying to snap yourself to your feet. Tight legs, ready, and hips up, fast, quick, quick, snap. Good job. Try to get 5 of these done. This next exercise is for the last part of the sit-up of the kip and also the front hip circle. You need to have that strength to be able to push that bar down so you can get on top of it into a front support. So these are rib ups is what I like to call them. You need to ask your parents permission of where you can do this exercise. If you have a kip bar, use your kip bar. If you have parallel bars because your brother has some parallel bars, please use those. If you have none of those, we have this old couch and that we like to use to do our rib ups, and just make sure it's a nice sturdy piece of furniture that will not tip over, maybe a really strong table or a countertop, but ask your parents where you can do this if they will allow you. All right, so here's our rib ups. You push up to front support, you have the hollow, and you have to go down to your ribs, use those elbows, and push all the way up tall. Make sure that your Leo does not touch the top where the bar would be. Push up tall. Try to get 10 of these in each time that we do these rounds. Push tall. Work hard. This is very important. Next Next, we have a push-up hold. You want to try to hold it for 20 seconds and then eventually work up to 30 seconds without moving. Heels together, knees together, pushing really tall. And then we want to work some shoulder shrugs. Can you push your shoulders down, up, just working some strength there. Try to do that 10 times with the shoulder shrugs. Who says you can't practice casting without a bar? Here we're using our floor beam. You can also use a Bosu ball or just put your hands on the floor like in a push-up. And we're going to jump our feet up with our heels together and then point our toes in the air and then land back and push up. Jump. 1, really drive those hamstring and heels up. Good. 4, 5. Try to keep those heels together and get all the way up to 10. Our next exercise will help with your shoot through and with your squat on, which we like to pike on. So we're going to go from a push-up shape and jump to pike. Keep your legs straight and get your tushy up in the air and go. 1 and stand. Good. Again. And go. Try to keep straight legs. We want to pike on and practice lifting our backside up to the ceiling. That was a good one. And let's do one more. And go. Good job. Our next set of exercises starts out with single arm lifts. This gives you the strength you need to go do your stride circles and switching arms and also on your leg cuts. Here we go. Push tall, single arm lift. Try to keep the arm straight. Lift all the way to your ear. You're trying to push on that bar and lean on that arm so that your body does not drop any. You want to try to keep your round hollow shape. So we do 10 of these. Try to push straight arms, really work. Work hard, squeeze those feet together. If your feet are coming apart, you can use your little stuffed buddy to help you train. After you get your 10 single arm lifts, you can practice your leg cuts as well. Really lean up and swing your leg. Push tall. Trying to push tall and not drop. When you relax, that's when you drop. Really push up and cut, lift. You have to lift that leg, lean on the arm that is still in contact with the bar. You want to try to get at least 5 on each side so you don't rock crooked. Also help us with our shoot through and also with our squat on or pike on is sliders, because we need to get that back muscle lifting. So we can use the pike ups with a slider with the ball. We already showed you the ball earlier, so we're going to try it with sliders this time on carpet. So you go from push-up position and try to get the feet between your hands. You might have trouble pushing it back because our carpet sticks to the slider. 2 and 3. Notice she's having to lean forward over. Her shoulders have to lean over her hands. That's called a planche. You always need to do that, even on bars. You have to lean forward. Lean forward is the way to stay balanced. Thank you, Megan. On these last sets of exercises, it'll be for the underswing and your back hip circle. So we want to have a tight candlestick. You can use the side of a couch, a bed, ottoman, some type of elevated surface, and whatever weight you can have. Push with really strong arms and keep it pushed far away from your face. Hold on to it tight and move it up and down. So it's like you're throwing it's not really throwing your arms, you're extending your body so that you can shoot your toes towards the high bar for your dismount while still keeping your hips up. Big toe beside big toe and tight toes. Move the weight at least 10 times. Our last exercise of this set is for the back hip circle, going to our underswing dismount, where we go from our back hip circle to our arms extend above our head, and with tight hips, without breaking our form, we shoot our toes towards a candle to the high bar for our dismount. And so we're going to go hollow rock, candle, hollow rock, candle. Hollow rock, candle. Feet tight together, toe beside toe. Hollow rock and candle. And try to work up 5 with good form, and then build up the strength to do 10. For the level 4 bar dismount, they have a quarter turn at the top of their candlestick to initiate the turn to tap the bar. It starts with the toes and then the knees and the hips. So we're going to practice 5 of these and eventually work up to 10. But we want to have good form. Megan's going to show us how to do our candlestick, our hollow rocks to candlestick, but with a quarter turn. It doesn't take much of a turn. The last exercise in this set, we're going to work on our arch rocks. So take your favorite stuffed animal. You can do this on the floor, on a panel mat, across an ottoman if it's firm, and lift your animal, extend it out as far away as you can so you can see it nice and clearly. Lift it above your head. Squeeze your bum, super tight locked out knees. And you remember the trick of don't let me put my finger between your heels. Oh, there you go. Keep reaching, reach, 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 reach. And try to rock for 10 if you can do it. Now, when you jump and land, it's not as stable to have your feet together. So separate them just slightly. And when you land, always have plied knees. And you want your knees not to go in. Show me where their knees are knocking. That's bad for your knees. You want them to track over your toes. Ease your thighs muscles. You want to squeeze those quads to keep you from squatting too far. All right, go ahead, Megan. So you can do this from a panel mat, from a low step, or from a slightly higher step. Make sure you plie your knees and that your knees track over your feet. That means they go over your toes and you stop. Squeeze your bum. Good. Can you try it one more time? And this time, make sure your knees are going over your toes. Be aware of where you're going. And stick. Now, do you hear the big conk sound? One of the things I'm really wanting us to work on is going, show me, half point. So toe point, half point, and then you use the arch of your foot to slow you down. So I shouldn't hear a thud like an elephant stomping. With these landings, we're going to work on using muscles to slow us down, controlling our knees, and having a good solid stick. And press. That was much better. Can you do that one more time? Really concentrate. This seems like a very simple exercise, but it's one that will save your ankles and save your Achilles if you do it correctly. Pay attention to the technique. Thank you, Megan. Good job. An elevated surface. And put your feet up there, get your hips over your shoulders. These are 90-degree handstand push-ups, set of 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Hey guys, it's now time to start the beam part of our workout. If you are just now starting and you haven't done a warm-up yet, make sure you do a warm-up. You can do jump rope, run in place, jumping jacks, burpees, mountain climbers, jumping lunges. Those are some of my favorite ones. Make sure you're good and warm and do a quick stretch of your legs. Make sure you're doing your splits, your straddle, your pike, because we're going to start off with beam flexibility with kicks. We need a lot of flexibility on beam. So if you're not already warm from already doing the warm-up video or the bar part of our workout, then you need to go ahead and do those. Get warm, get stretched, and then let's get started with some beam kicks. We're gonna start, you're gonna hold on to a countertop, a table, a couch. If you have a ballet bar, use a ballet bar. If you have a kip bar, you can use that as well.
you want to put your foot that's farthest away from the couch on the outside so that you don't kick the couch or the table, whatever you're helping to keep your balance. Getting a good lunge with feet, toes turned out, hips square, and raise your outside arm. First, we're going to do 2 practice ones. We're going to press to a releve and up and back to lunge and up and back to lunge. There's a lot of things we do in gymnastics that will go from lunge to a straight leg releve, namely turns. So it's good to practice our kicks like this. It also gives us a little more energy where we can work more active flexibility. So Megan's going to show us 10 kicks from our outside right leg. These are kicks forward, trying to kick her hand. Everything goes to releve. All knees extended, toes pointed. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and turn. Other side. Now you need to put your other foot in the back and square up your hips. Make sure your toes are turned out and go. 1, 2, try to hit your shin to your hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and face the couch or your bar. One of the things I love that Megan's doing is she's only kicking as high as she can with a straight leg. If you're sloppy and you're moving your hips around, then that's not getting the job done that we want. Only go as high as you can with good form. So put your right foot in front, toes pointed, it's turned out, so your knee will be facing to the side. So Megan's right knee is facing towards our camera. And we're going to go from start right in the middle between where your hands are. And you're going to try to kick behind your shoulder to up to your ear. Think of moving your shin to your ear. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other foot, left foot in front. And turn that knee out. It'll be facing the other wall. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to get up to your ear. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to do some back kicks. For level 3 and 4, we're not quite ready to work on the ring part of the kick. Right now, we need to work on our core and our glute muscles, that's in your tush, to help lift our legs before we start bending it. And some of us are still working on getting those knees tight. So let's work on straight leg kicks only, pushing that knees tight, and make sure your foot is slightly turned out. It will be turned out. Remember, on the side of your toe, like Miss Hannah's been teaching us in ballet. And we're going to go as high as we can and keep great posture. So we're not dipping down towards the couch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One thing I think Megan is doing a great job of doing is she's keeping her hips square to the couch. What I see a lot of people do, kick up, is we don't want our hips to open up. We want to keep them flat, where they stay, both of these hip bones should stay the same distance from the beam or the bar, whatever you're using to help hold your balance. So I like to call that a doggy fire hydrant. We don't want to turn our hips open. Keep it nice and flat, and then drive your leg up using your tush muscles, your glutes. And then the left leg. And 1, 2, are your hips square? 3, 4, tight knees. 5, pointy toes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. Oh, these kicks are very important, especially the back ones, because that's also the hamstring and heel drive that you're going to need for your round offs, for your vault, for your leap, because that's all a leap is when you're jumping from the front. It's like a leap hop, and you drive that back leg back fast as you can. So we don't want to do these kicks super slow. We want to snap them. We want them fast and quick so that we have that quick twitch muscle that helps our gymnastics look awesome. All right, so if you have a floor beam, then you need to get your beam out and find it in a nice open space with no obstacles. If you don't have a beam, you can find a floor line or some type of stripe in the rug, or you can even use a tape line. I've used that before. We also want to use our stuffed friend to help us train today. So put the bear or whatever animal, stuffed animal you want to, or baby doll, you can put at the opposite end of the beam. Ours is right here. So we're going to start off first with releve walks with moving arms. So we're going to start off, I love how Megan's starting in starting position. Her thumbs are hidden and her hands are not touching her body. Nice tall, tushy under, ribs in. We want to make a straight line on the side of our Leo, all the way up and down, shoulders up, back down, and chin up. There we go. We always have our chin up like we're looking at our eyes towards the corners, but then we want always on beam. Our eyes should be on the beam. Keep your head the same position, but put your eyes to the end of the beam. All right, here we go. Forward, releve, all the way up as high as you can. As high as you can on releve with moving arms. Grab your animal. Super tall arms. Make your animal look all the way behind your head and go up so high. It's like stiletto heels. I should not even be able to see where your foot starts from your leg. Lift tall, lift tall, lift tall. Look at the beam as you go back. Rise up even taller. Good job. So our goal, I'm going to show you this real quickly. Our goal on releve is not to have any bend here because that's not stable. Our releve is all the way up. If you lift your foot, push the ball of your foot and your toes into the beam, and you lift up, you can feel it lock right there. That's where you're going to be strong and stable. So push, lock. That's your releve. So your releve should be like that all the way across the beam. All locked, your knees locked. I'm squeezing from my tush and the inner thighs to keep me strong and stable. Have those ankles locked so there's no wobbles. Let's try that one more time. Have your bear at the end. And here we go. Forward releve with moving arms. First, there you go. Start, first, third, down. See if you can rise up even higher on your way back. Lock out those ankles. Make yourself grow super tall. There you go, much better. Tight knees, tight tush. Squeeze your bum. Very nice. Are you looking at the beam? Good. Now you can set your bear down. We're going sideways, so face the camera. Here we go. Arms out to the side, pressing. We want nice tight arms pressing. On these, I shouldn't be able to push your arms down. Press, and it's easier. We can't look at the beam here, but we can look at the wall, and you know the beam's not going anywhere. Rise up. You want only the balls of your feet. Open, close, open, close. Go down to one end, then you can come back, facing the same direction so we get both sides. Next, we're doing passe walks. First, let me show you a passe. Right here. Can you hold your right leg up? In passe. It's always forward. We want to keep our hips level and only bring the leg up. Most people get off balance because they lift their hip too, and that makes you fall over. So make sure this leg rises up, goes up the side of the leg, and makes it straight and flat like a table. This toe has to be touching your leg. There should be no daylight between it. This is not passe. This is passe. And what we're going to do next from there is you go hands on hips, passe, extend, toe, ball, heel. And that's all we're doing. passe, extend. Full point, demi point, then set your heel down as you come forward. Point, passe, all the way across. We'll add the plie and finish later. Here we go, passe walks. So passe, extend, toe, there we go, extend. Really emphasize those talking toes, talking feet. There you go, passe, extend, toe, ball, heel. Very good. This time, let's go do these and add a plie and finish like we just did a turn. So it's going to be the same, except when we come down to toe, ball, heel, we're going to bend both knees. That's called plie. When you bend, make sure you don't do that rocking chair motion and bring your hips back. Everything goes straight up and down. From my hips up to my shoulders needs to stay straight up and down on beam and as well as floor. So plie, and then pull that front leg. I see a lot of people who like to go plie, and then they just flip their foot over like a fish. They're just flopping a fish or a pancake. That's not what we're looking for. So we have extend, plie, and finish. Drag that back toe. I like to think of it like we're painting the beam with our toenails. Extend it straight as you come up, and we'll add arms later. Here we go. Passe walks with extend, plie, finish. Good job. Passe, extend, toe, ball, heel, plie, finish. Squeeze. We're always trying to keep our body in the middle of the beam. I like to say, think like you're lining up your belly button to the middle of the beam. Feel the middle of the beam at all times. Another one to help us with our extend, and it also helps us with kicks, is to do the extend hold walks. These are fun ones. I challenged the level 3s to this, and they really surprised me. They did an awesome job with it. So you go passe, you grab your front leg, and you try to extend it up as high as you can. And then when you let go, you try to hold it. 1, 2, 3, and then take a step. You don't have to plie or anything. We're just doing steps. Here we go. Passe, extend and hold. Good try. Try again. Here we go. Without lifting the hips, lift the leg and keep going. And passe up, hold. Nice. And these will get higher and higher as you get stronger and stronger. We need strength as well as flexibility. That's what makes beautiful gymnastics. So our extend and hold walks. Let's go ahead and do our kicks forward and sideways and backwards. Here we go. Kicks forward. Arms pressing to the side. And kick, 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 and freeze. One thing I think we need to tell some of those who are watching this video is how do you keep your toes pointed when you're on beam? Well, once you are pressing and you kick, point, toe, half point, the demi point, heel. As you come forward, your toe back here is going to pull up a point. It's going to glide beside the beam in a point to lift to the next kick. Then you go full point, demi point, heel, pull your back foot to a full point, let it glide down beside the beam. Notice I'm not doing a dip. I'm not bending my knee. My knees are staying straight. We're working on our talking feet right now. So let's do our kicks, pressing. Work on getting that toe to glide beside that beam in a full point. And as you place your foot, toe, full point, half point, heel. I like to call that toe, ball, heel for short. And go kick, toe, ball, heel, glide, kick, toe, ball, heel, glide, kick, toe, ball, heel, kick, toe, ball, heel. Really concentrating on keeping those shoulders down. Trying not to let your upper body move at all. That's the challenge here.
We have a lot of things to think about on beam. Kicks to the side now. Your goal is to let nothing move except the leg. You're going to try it on these. You can just lift your arms up and kick to the side, or on the side that you're kicking on, move that arm to the front. I'm going to let you have your choice and experiment with some of these. Try something new. And kicks to the side. Go, Meg. And the trick is here is not to be leaning, but to lift. Really just lift those legs. We always use turnout, so your kneecaps are still facing the ceiling. Good job. Now we're going to go forward and kick backward. You can keep your arms to the side, or if you wish, you can also bring them up like we are going to do when we do a ring kick. And kicks to the back, going forward. Very nice. This also helps us get ready for our arabesque and our rond de jambe. Very good. Grapevine walks just for fun. We're going to go sideways on these. One in front, one in back. One in front, one in back. You switch and alternate which foot is in front. And come back this other direction. Good job. You want to try to keep just the ball of your foot and keep your heels off the back. This is a fun one because it's in the level 3 as well as the level 4 routine, the forced arch. So we're going to practice forced arch on both feet. So we're facing square up to the beam, hands on our hips. Hips are where your where your legs come out of your Leo. Forced arch, that's a releve in your front foot and a flat foot in the back. So it's almost like a lunge, but your front foot is in releve. We're going to go here and then turn to both releve and turn back. So our goal is to try to keep our eyes right in front of us. That's our goal. Right now we're not worried about arms. We're going to keep our hands on our hips. Then you go back, pop that next foot, forced arch, turn, keep looking over your shoulder, and turn. Did you see I started to fall right there? I didn't tighten up my heels. If you tighten up your heels, pull them in to where you're turned out. Just going like this is wobbly. Pull them in, and you'll be more steady. So forced arch, pop, pop. Forced arch, pop, pop. Forced arch, pop, pop. Forced arch, pop, pop. That's our goal. This is going to be quick movements. When we switch and turn, pivot to the side and pivot to the front, it goes quick, quick. That's the quick move that's sharp in our routines. Some of our moves are nice and smooth. Others are sharp, sharp. Pivot turns are sharp. This forced arch with a turn to the side, that is a very sharp, quick movement. So we want to try to learn all of those skills so that we can have great artistry later. Let's get some needle kicks. Needle kicks to warm up our back leg before we do rond de jambe. These are just little baby needles. You just go straight to the beam, drive that back foot up. Same thing as when we were doing our kicks. You want to keep your hips square and not turning out like the doggy fire hydrant. And also, when you're doing a needle kick, you need to be opening your armpits and kind of leaning back into your leg. So I'll show you right here. She's not just going here, hop up. It needs to press. Do you see that? Press. That's where you're going to get a really effective needle kick. It's not just kicking a leg up in the air, keeping your turtle back. Press into it. It's almost a backwards motion a little, so you can open up that hip a little bit more. Let's do one more set of needle kicks. Work on really opening those shoulders. We need to work on needle kicks on every event to be able to drive that hamstring. Keep that back leg nice and flexible and strong. Next is rond de jambe, arabesque and scale. So if you are in level 3, you'll start the arabesque, the rond de jambe, toe on the beam. And your arms will be to the side. Be very careful you're not putting them back here if you're not flexible enough to do that without arching, because we still want that straight line of our Leo here, nice and tall. Now, hunched shoulders also are not very pretty, so we want to drop our shoulders, nice long necks, our chin up like we're looking at the ceiling, but our eyes down at the beam. Always look at the beam. Arms pressing, toe turned out, and you lift to 45. Circle the leg, keeping a toe point. The most important thing is not to drop your foot. Then you touch the beam to start arabesque and lift. Nothing moves except the leg, and touch down after you hold it for 1 second. So 1 second would be 1 gymnastics. If you are holding a pause, like after a leap when we do an arabesque pause, that is a 1. At the end of our turn, before we extend plie finish, we need to hold what we call a mark. A mark is W. So 1 whole second is 1 gymnastics. A pause is 1. And a mark is W. So then maybe that'll help clarify that for you. This is a 1 gymnastic hold on your arabesque. If you are working towards level 4, in the level 4 routine, it's a little different. We start with our foot not on the beam. So you come back from your backwards walk and you go into rond de jambe. You still lift. You try to keep everything nice and tall. And then from here, arabesque, pause. Then you go into scale. Scale does not dive forward. You just shift your weight to the ball of your foot slightly and you lift your leg at least to horizontal. Then you come down, click. Toenails to the beam. So I hope that clarifies it. Rond de jambe, we also have some rond de jambe walks that you can work on where you can go forward and back. If you're going backward, work on the 45, touch, and you can also do it at the arabesque if you want. 1 gymnastics. Still trying to keep our belly button middle of the beam, keep our hips pressing and square. After you come back, do the next foot. Rond de jambe. And touch. You can do add an arabesque if you want. So you can practice whichever version of the rond de jambe that you are working on this year. Go ahead and practice those walks forward and backward. And the next thing we want to work on is our releve holds and lifts. These are now our stationary exercises. So getting beam feet or feet right in front of each other. Here we go. Now, if you look, a releve hold, a perfect releve. Megan, will you put your heel on the middle of your back foot? Step on your foot. If you step on your back foot halfway up, now rise up, squeeze your thighs together here, squeeze your bum. Press all the way as high as you can until those legs lock. That is a beautiful releve. You can't see where her foot starts or where her leg starts. They are in line with each other. These feet are touching. It is called a lock. You can't lock a door unless it's closed. This is what judges are looking for. Is it closed? Or is your heel pressing against the front of your foot? Thank you. So we need to strengthen that. Do you feel how your feet, you usually don't walk like that unless you wear stiletto heels. So what we need to do is strengthen our feet. Get ready, here we go. Right foot in front. You can step on your foot or you can have beam feet and when you come up, put your heel on your foot. But your foot has to be closed to make it lock. Here we go, we're gonna hold first for 10. Then we're gonna go up and down for 10. Ready, and up. 1, 2, 3, heads up, eyes down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up, downs, and lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
9, 10. Switch feet. You can take a step forward, take a step backward, and let's push up and hold. Tight knees, squeeze your bum, and squeeze these thighs. Nice and tight, squeeze them. 1, 2. You don't want your heels and ankles fishing where they're flopping back and forth. Squeeze them together. Get rid of any daylight between your knees. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up, downs. And 1, 2. Really push those heels until they lock. 3, 4, 5. Keeping hips, everything tight. 6. Use your core. 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Stand on your right foot. Passe your left. Left leg and passe. Here we go. And hold. 2, 3. Nice and tall. 4, 5, 6. Shoulders down. 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you're also turned, if your foot's turned out, it puts your big toe closer to the middle of the beam. That's a stronger position to keep your balance. So you always want to have your toes, the turnout that we learn in ballet, we want to use that on beam. Not so much that your toes are hanging off the beam, but just turn it in just a little bit. And that makes a strong support. It helps you to square up your hips. Beam is all about seeing the beam so you can see where you put your feet. It's all about squaring up your hips so you stay lined up with the beam. That's the trick to staying on. And then keeping everything level, which means you have to use your core muscles. You have to use your hips. You have to use your glute muscles. You have to use your quads, ankles and feet, your arch muscles, everything, all those muscles, you have to use them. That means you got to squeeze them. If I see somebody wobbling, I'm like, squeeze something. Use your muscles and that'll make you rock steady on beam. Makes it a lot of fun too, when you can do cool skills on just 4 inches. That's something to be proud of. Here we go. Now we're going to do lifts in passe. Here's the trick on lifts. I'm going to face you. Quick tutorial. So as you come up in passe, the biggest mistake I see is people start turning towards their little pinky toe. Your big toe is your strong toe. I want my big toe holding me up. The pinky toe, this makes everything turn out. It gets loose. Next thing you know, you're jumping off the beam. Try to put your ankle and your heel over, straighten a line of that between the big toe and your second toe. That will make it rock steady. Try it this time. Don't take my word for it. You try it. Hands on your hips. Passe. Same leg. And now let's rise up. And remember, we're not rising up with our shoulders or our hips. We're only like a little elevator, pushing our ball of our foot and the arch of our foot into the beam and lifting our heels. Here we go. And 1, 2. Squeeze. Keep squeezing those thighs together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you have a squishy beam like this, good job. It's harder to hold on a squishy beam than a hard, solid beam. It's easier to do those on the floor. If you need to, hold on to something or get on the floor, and it really works those muscles. That's what we're aiming for. Here we go, other foot. Passe, switch feet. And hands on hips. Fingers in front, please. And here we go, passe. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pulse up. 1, 2. Push that foot in. Like Miss Hannah says, you're jackhammering. You're pushing that jackhammer into that ground and it makes you rise up. Here we go. 3, 4. Push through your foot. 5, 6. Keep this tight. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that our feet are strong and we have our releve and passe down, we can work on our turns. Our turns first with the releve is you have your step lock. All the time on beam when we do our steps, every time we say step, remember it's the toe, ball, heel like we've already worked on our extension, extend, plie, finish. You want to go full point, demi point, and then your foot down. And every step, take your middle fingers, this one, and touch the side of your leg. It looks prettier, not so soldierish. It looks prettier. So just touch that when every time we say step. Step, then you lift forward, up to third position above your head, nice and round crown. For once you should see gaps because your shoulders are down for pivot turns. What I do need, so pivot turns are interesting. They're nice and pretty up here because it's dance, but the legs, hips, it's a sharp turn. So you have pretty and soft, but with a sharp turn where you have to really squeeze your hips and drive those legs together. It comes from really tight thigh muscles and really strong hip muscles and glutes. Let's try some. So these are pivot turns. So we have step, step, and lock. Sharp pivot, lifting as tall as you can through your body, but keep your arms round, thumbs hidden, and pivot. Try to squeeze, 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 squeeze. Front lock. Make sure the door's closed. Make sure you're in a high, high, high releve. Pivot again. Good. So we need to do 5 of those. 5 perfect ones. Then show your mom or dad the 6th one. Then the next one is our snap turns. Snap turns. I do these are for level 3. Level 4 we'll do a half turn. But snap turns are good because it helps you feel the beam, square up. It gets the motion of rising up throughout the turn. And it helps you to feel where you are on the beam. So we'll go step, snap, where you push your heel to touch the beam and you get into prep position. Not preposition. We've been working on English. So your prep, if you are righty, your right leg will come out in tendu. Then you'll stand on it. That becomes your support leg while your left leg comes up to your knee. If you're lefty, it'll be the opposite. Whichever leg you're standing on, your support leg, if you're a righty, you will put your right arm in front, round. It's like you're holding a little beach ball. And then your other arm will be out. Remember with Miss Hannah, where we go up to first position, second, that's where that arm goes. Right before we do the butterfly arms down. So here is your prep position if you are a righty. If you are a lefty, you will start in tendu. Step, snap. Here is your position for your turn. Then we'll say, this will be the snap part. So you snap your heel, position, and we're going to bring this arm in. That's not where the turn's coming from. The turn is coming from your heel. You drive that heel around. Drive it, and while you're keeping your core, your hips, your thighs, your legs all tight, squeezing those muscles, when you drive that heel, it moves your whole body at the same time. We want to do 2 snap turns in a row before we do the extend, plie, finish. So we will do prep, rise up and snap, stay balanced, prep again, rise up and snap, and I missed the beam. That's a very important thing. This is supposed to be a 180-degree turn. It's a half turn. If you start with your heel here, to get credit for it, you have to turn all the way around, complete 180 degrees before you put your heel down to get full credit for that turn. That's something we need to check and make sure. Some people like to try to cheat it and drop their heel early. and that won't count. The judges will have to mark off for that. You get some minuses for that. So make sure you get it all the way around. Here we go. All right, now that we know how to do these snap turns, let's work on practicing some. Now, if your floor beam's like mine, it's very hard to turn on. So we'll see what happens here. It's soft, it's squishy, but it doesn't turn very well. Sometimes these are better done on the carpet if you need to. It's easier to turn on carpet. If you want to, you can do them on carpet. I'll try on the beam. So here we go. Good foot forward, full point, tendu, step, and prep, and snap turn. Freeze, prep, and snap turn. Woo! Almost made it. Now, that's a mark. Whoa. Extend, plie. Paint the toes, paint your toenails onto the beam. Good. That was one. Now pause the video, do 5 more, and then show your parents the 6th one. Now it's time to do the half turn. The half turn is what the level 4s will do on beam, and the level 3s will perform on the floor. So on the floor, so level 3s, you can practice this one on carpet. You don't have to put it on beam yet. I want you to start off with a 4th position plie, arms at that prep, same prep as the snap turn, and here's what the arm position is going to do. You're going to open, up, lift to crown. So you're going to open to second, go to crown, open up. And when you go up, it helps lift your body straight up so you don't lean. And it helps you to get a high releve and really make a beautiful turn. So from here, plie, you're going to press and rise up into your passe as you drive that heel. Here's the difference. A snap turn, you put your heel down at the beginning of the turn and you mark the end of your turn with putting your heel down. With a half turn, your heel, once it comes off, and you start the turn, lifting, open up, your heel cannot touch. You stay in releve, all the way through the mark, and then extend, plie, finish. Your heel does not touch. If your heel touches, they'll say you did the wrong turn and give you some minuses. So here we go. So for level 3s, start in 4th position plie, open up, and that's when you drive your heel and do the turn. Level 4. When we do this on the beam, we're going to start not from 4th position plie, but from a lunge. This is where we talked about with our kicks. Lunge, and then you press straight up into your passe in the same arms, the open up arms. Lift tall, keep your shoulders down, because this is a ballet crown. So let's try some. Here we go. And lunge. I'll do the 4th position plie. Megan has the the level 4 half turn. And go. Open up, extend, plie, finish. Good. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can make a good mark. So after we turn, how do we stop? I thought I heard some people ask, how do you stop when you get all the way around? Good question. I can think of it. You can think of it 2 ways. You can think this knee that's up in passe and this opposite shoulder can squeeze together. Pull them, tighten them, contract those muscles. That's your brakes. Or, as Miss Hannah likes to say, is that you bring everything to the center. So as you're coming here, you bring everything to the center. Everything tightens to the center. That's also another way that you can brake. It probably looks better too. So let's try it again. So turn, make your mark. As you're in passe, say wah. Then extend, plie, finish. Let's try it. Here we go. And turn. Open up, wah. Extend, plie, finish. Try to drive that heel all the way around. Even though we're not setting our heels down, you have to have your heel. If I'm going to be turning this other direction, I better be all the way around, not with my foot partially around. It needs to be all the way around, and I need to put all that weight more on my first 2 toes, my big toes, the strong toes. Now it's time to work on jumps, and you need to get your little furry friend, your little stuffed buddy, to come and help you out with these. The first jump we're going to work on is the stretch jump. So on the stretch jump, let's do some no jumps first, just working on the arms. So you can have beam feet right here, or feet in front of each other, heel to toe. And we're going to work with arms low. That's on side by side, just like in your step position. And we're going to reach up to crown, shoulders down. I do want a gap here. Nice and round and tall. Fingers almost touching, thumbs hidden. Sometimes I like to think of this like a peanut butter jelly sandwich that you hold with your middle finger and your thumb. Nice and tall. And then come down. It's like butterfly arms down. And up and butterfly arms down. So these are going to be connected jumps. That means you do 2 in a row without breaking the motion. So on these, you want to end, so starting sit in grandpa's chair. That's a chair with a straight back that's uncomfortable. So you have to use some tension in your legs to hold you up. Sit, up to crown, butterfly down, up to crown and hold it down. You land with your arms up on the second jump. Let's try that again. Something that will break the connection is if you swing your arms back. There's no swinging your arms back on these jumps. So it's just down, up, come down, up, and hold. Ooh, we tricked you. I bet you're not the only one. Then you stand up tall. This is a finish downward. It's a finish downward. So here we go. Let's try it. That was with the arms. Ready? No jumps with the arms. Sit, up, butterfly, up, and stick. Finish down. One more time, and sit. And up, butterfly, and up, and stick. Finish down. Very good. We will use the same sort of arms, the finishing part, for the split jump, stretch jump that the level 4s are working on. So this works for both teams. And here we go. Now let's work on the feet. Big thing on the jump is I want you to keep your hands on your hips. Really get used to working the lower half of your body to work on these jumps. You still have to keep your core tight because your body should be nice and tight and in control all times. But on the jump, here's where our buddy comes in. On the jump, we want to jump higher than the bear or higher than your stuffed animal. That's our goal because we're looking for height. Judges like to call it hip rise. I just like to say, how high can you jump? With your toes pointed. And you remember that lock position where we locked our feet, they were touching, and our legs were nice and straight? That's what we need to do in the air. Our feet need to be touching in the air, sharp toe points, one foot in front of the other, and jump above your bear. The only way to do that is as you're jumping, push through the arch of your foot, the ball of your foot, and then your toes. And then your toes. Try this with me. Feel yourself push all the way through from your toes. All the way through that foot. All the way through that foot. You can practice these also on the floor, like just put one foot up. Doesn't have to be very high. And work on just pushing all the way through your toes. Work each foot that way. And you can work on getting some more strength so you can go higher. Let's try some. Here we go. Just with our hands here on our hips. We've worked our arms. Now we're working our legs, then we'll put it together. Here we go. You can start beam feet. My feet are larger, so I'll go foot in front. One foot in front of the other. And sit. Notice my back is straight. If I do that rocking chair that Miss Hannah says in ballet, when I jump, I will travel. It will push me towards Megan. These type of jumps do not move. They're in place. The level 3 routine, and also the level 4, you can run out of room on that beam if you're traveling on these jumps. It's very important that you go straight up, top of your head to the ceiling. The way you do that is that not leaning forward or backward. Just go straight up. Keep your hips all the way up to your shoulder, your upper body. Stick straight. Here we go. Let's work our feet. And sit, jump, and squeeze your legs. Good. Let's try again. Always land on plied knees to soften the jump. You don't want to land on a locked knee. It's not good for them. And sit, jump, Squeeze those feet. Make sure that they're closed. You can't make a lock. Make a door lock if it's not closed. They need to touch. And jump. And jump. I missed the beam.
I did that.
Good. That's why we like to practice on these soft beams. Let's add arms. So here we go. We'll be down as we jump and then flutter down and jump and stick. Whole thing, 2 jumps in a row. Here we go. Sit, jump, butterfly, jump, stick, and finish. I'm gonna step to the side. Ready? And sit, jump, butterfly, jump, stick, and finish low. Good. For level 4, you need to do a split jump and a stretch jump, and they're connected. So you start the same way, sit, except your arms will go out like airplane arms. It's called side mid. Airplanes, not sit back to where you arch, just straight. So split jump, come right back down, stretch jump, stick, then finish, down low. So let's practice the arms. Ready? And split, down, butterfly, stretch, stick, finish low. One more time on arms. And sit, airplane, butterfly, stretch and stick. Finish low. The legs, hands on your hips. Split jump, favorite leg in front. Don't forget to kick your back leg. We're looking for an even split. Nice and even. So you don't want one leg up and the back leg hanging down. It's harder to see that back leg, so really squeeze your bum to lift that back leg. We're using our muscles back here to really lift. Think of lifting right below your bum on the back of your thigh. Here we go. And sit, split jump, stretch jump. Ooh, it's hard to remember that one. Big thing to remember here is no rocking chairs. Straight down, straight back up. Here we go again. Sit, split jump, stretch jump, and then finish. Let's put it with arms. Here we go. I probably should put my hair up. It's getting hot. And sit, split jump, stretch jump, stick, finish low. Do that 5 times and show your parents the 6th one. Whichever one it is. If you're doing the stretch jump, show them that one. If you're in level 4, show us the split jump, stretch jump. Hey, have your parents record your best one. Why don't you send it to us so we can see it? I would love to see how you're progressing this month. I really miss seeing you guys. Next is the split leap. Straight-legged split leaps are a challenge, but one I know you can conquer. We'll work a lot on these with the floor practice workout that I will be putting up here soon. But this one, we don't have a sachet. It's just a step. Where do your arms go on the step? Remember, your middle finger touches the side. Step, so your arms can come low. And then when you come forward, I want you to bend this knee. This is like one of those dips that you would work on the beam. Bend that knee because it's going to become your back leg. When we do our leap hops, we always jump on that back leg. That's where our power and our leaps come from. Our back leg, our not so favorite leg. So we want to go step. We take our step with our bad foot, step. Bend that leg through it. This leg comes through straight and pointed, brushes the side of the beam, and our arms come up. I like to say airplane arms for the young ones, but it's arms side mid. And come up, and as you come up, it's not doing a leap hop, we have to drive our hamstring back very fast. It's a very quick motion. We got to kick it really fast, and so we can soar in a split. Think of it as a moving split jump. So really drive that foot back. So step, swing this, bend this knee, swing it through. Are we leaning? No. Keep your upper body nice and straight. I like to think, push my chest up to the ceiling, see who can get the highest. That is the best way. Keep your chest up, chin up all the way through. Arms stay. We will land in arabesque for a slight pause. That's a 1. Then we'll come through and do another step. So you can get used to doing that. Here we go. I'll let Megan demonstrate this one. All right, ready? So back foot forward, step. You just came out of arabesque. And so your back foot just touched. It's going to step and leap. Arabesque 1. And you can put your buddy there to make sure you're getting up high. Just don't let your legs start bending. Keep those knees tight. Try again. Go back the other way. And go finish from your arabesque. And work on your step. Swing through, chest up. Nice. Now the big thing, because here's the fun thing. You can come have a seat with me. All of these routines, everybody has the same routine. Everybody has the same skills, right? Now, if I'm going to bake a cake, and you know me, sometimes my cakes turn out really good, and sometimes we just have to lick the bowl because that's about the best that we're going to get on that cake. But if I give the same ingredients to a chef, a professional chef who really knows what to do with those ingredients, it can be wonderful. Same ingredients, but it depends on what you do with them. That's what we're doing here in gymnastics, is in these compulsory routines, everybody has to do the same routine. But we can do them with pointing your toes, tighter knees, lift our posture higher, be able to get the height we can to jump over our little stuffed animal friends. And the way we carry ourselves, the way we do them, it's like the chef with the cake can take the same ingredients and make them amazing. And that's what I want you to work on while we're apart right now, is trying to be picky. Not for pickiness sakes, but so you can make these ingredients for our routines amazing. That's why I'm talking so much and giving you so much detail, because that's the difference. That's what's going to set us apart from everybody else who have the same routine with all the same skills. It's the details that matter. It's the time you put into it. Because I'm sure that chef didn't just go to school for one day. He didn't just read one recipe. He spent a lot of time working and developing his skills and kind of flexing his mental muscles so that he could make amazing things with those ingredients. Well, we need to do that with what we've got. So whatever muscles, whatever abilities and talents you have, let's make the most of it and get cooking. So here we go. Next, after our splits, split leaps, try to do 5. Show your parents or your brother or sister the 6th one. So you get that little accountability there. They can help you out. And then, and that's also, it's fun to perform, isn't it? All right, now speaking of performing, here's how I like to do our cartwheels and our handstands. Let's start with handstands. There's 2 types of handstands in our routines. One is the cross handstand. It's with the butterfly hands. Get your thumbs together. They'll go in the middle of the beam, and then your fingers will grip the beam. I want you to grip it. I should see your fingerprints in that beam. Number 1 thing on all of this acro, you need to see the beam. That is the number 1 thing. You don't close your eyes and pray and hope that you land on it. You always need to see the beam. And I don't want you to just see your first foot hit. I want you to see both feet touch. There's no guesswork here. Beam should be fun. And that's the only way I know to make it fun, is to watch both feet touch. So let's look at our handstand. Here we go, Megan. You get to use your friend on this one too. So you're going to lunge. All right, so that's where I'm going to put your friend. Now stand feet together, nice and tall like we do on the floor every morning, if you're in the morning group. And we'll reach up. Our arms always come up from the sides here. Our arms will always come up from the sides. These are high. These are not crown arms. These are high arms. The difference is, in crown, I'll have Megan show. In crown, it's nice and round and there's gaps. High arms is you're getting ready to tumble and put your weight on. Arms are tight, squeezed. There's no space here because you want to tighten these muscles. They call this your shoulder girdle. You're tightening all those bones and all those muscles so that they don't wobble. And if I'm going to be on my upside down, I want those tight. So that's why we do that. It's not just for relaxing and prettiness. We're going to be tight here and strong. So here we go. Arms up in high position. Get those shoulders up in those ears. All the way, no gaps. And you're going to kick, tip, you keeping those hips nice and square. Tip into your lunge. That gives you some power. Reach over your animal and all the way up tall. Now, when you're up, you need to be able to see your hands and see the beam, but be able to cover your ears. If your head is out, Megan, hang your head out. When your head is out, it makes your back arch too much. Your knees will start bending, and you start looking more like a C. Now, hide your ears and push tall. We want to make it as straight as we can. Split, come down. And right there, did you see how her head came up? She stepped off to the side. This is a part that you probably have never been told before. I want you to see both feet touch. Let's move the bear over here so they can see a little bit better. There you go. This time I'm going to help hold your head down so you can see both feet come down before as you lever up. You still lever. You have to lever into it. See her back tip, lever, pushing tall. Her ears are covered. Pushing tall, split, coming down, and 1, 2, up. Good. Now, what about when I come up? A handstand is fairly calm. It's not like doing back handsprings and having to stop motion. But on the beam, we have to stop motion so that we don't wobble, because the judges like to count off minuses if we wobble. So as you come up, really get used to stop motion. Your arms come up and they press back to your arm finish. That is not just for prettiness. That actually stops the motion. If you are in a good, if your toes are out, you have a good turnout, and you have a good lunge. So here, show me a lunge. I should not be able to pull you forward. This leg is keeping you forward. Now, push your arms back to finish. That's going to stop you. That's going to stop you from continuing to rotate. You probably see them in the Olympics. Some of the girls, they'll go here. Some of them get scared and they go all the way down. Whoa, they're going to fight for it with all they've got. I like it. Always fight. Don't give up and just jump off. Always fight. Stay on the beam. So when you come up from that handstand, lever, lock. Lever and lock in that lunge. Here we go. Let's try it one more time. Kick up. Tip. Push tall. Grow 2 inches taller. Nice and tall. Squeezing. Have somebody try to pull your feet apart. You should be that tight. And split. Come up. 1, 2, and head up. Lock. That's the way we want to do our handstands. You need to try to get 10 of them per day to be that good and steady so you're confident about it. Our next one is our cartwheel to handstand. Big trick on this cartwheel. Some people like to come down and then start turning as they're going down in their lever. You need to do a full lever, then turn at the last second so that it doesn't push your hips off the beam. We want to keep all body parts over that beam in the middle. So come over, cartwheel, up to handstand, nice and tall. You need to keep those ears hidden here too, and keep this nice and straight as you can. Squeeze your bum, and don't let me pull your feet apart. Always toe beside toe, pushing tall. Good job. And if you're just needing to practice, you can step this in as you're just practicing, or come down. And then for your dismount, right now we just want to practice, if you haven't worked on this very much in your classes, especially the level 3s, what you can do is get a mattress or some pillows here and just practice kicking up to a handstand. Do the cartwheel up to the handstand and then come down to a push-up, but make sure you have some cushions or something for your toes so you don't stub your toes. And then just come straight down, just like in the level 2 routine. Then, and only then, see you're a righty, you'll come this way. So let me get you some cushions. So here is going to be your landing. Let's move our bear here. We'll move you back. So Megan's going to come do her cartwheel, then she'll put her hand on the ground and go to a push-up position here. because we want to keep our hips flat. We're not wanting to pike down. On that pike down I had Megan do, I was just having her learn to step in, because when you're on a high beam and you're not ready to do the dismount, it's good to just step it in and be able to get, it's another skill that helps you with your balance too. Go. And kick, cartwheel, handstand. She stays on her good arm on the beam and then falls to a push-up, keeping these hips flat. That's basically your dismount. That's as much as you can really practice with a floor beam or on your tape line. Make sure you don't stub your toes. Be careful as you come down. Pushing tall and tight, making sure you're doing a straight up handstand. If you're standing from the side, it should look just as pretty as your other handstand. Then you rotate, hand, keep your hips tight, mad cat. Good job. Now for level 4, you have a cartwheel. Cartwheel, you need to see your hands. You need to see both feet as you stand up. It's very similar to your cartwheel handstand. Only thing that's different is if I'm starting with a right-legged cartwheel, it starts just like my handstand. But as you land, it's my bad leg lever. So the big thing that we need to work on with our cartwheel is bad leg levers. So every time you do one cartwheel, I want you to do 3 bad leg levers up to that stop motion position, our finish. Make sure you're not putting some tension here in the front leg and the back leg so that if somebody was to come and shake you, that you wouldn't move. So you need to practice 3 landings for every single cartwheel you do. So let's try a cartwheel. Here's the big thing on the cartwheel. And I'm on the wrong side, but you want to go flat up to the wall. Do you see how she's squared up to me? All the way up to this point of handstand. It's pushing tall, and she's flat towards me. On the cartwheel on beam, you can have your hands in parallel like she has, or you can turn them like round off hands. Then you turn your hips, and this part is just like your step up. Look at your feet. First foot, second foot, finish. Throw those arms back to lock it in. And it doesn't help with me holding on to you. You probably do better without me. Go ahead. Cartwheel, you're going flat. Turn your hips and shoulders. Watch your feet, both feet. Lever up and finish. Make sure your feet are turned out so it squares up your hips, belly button in the middle of the beam. Go. And go. Keep going. And 1, 2, finish. Good. Do one more. All the way. Full time. No stopping. No stopping. You were waiting for me to spot. Thank you. Kick. Square up. Turn your shoulders and lock. 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 So if you take your arms low, that will help balance. But get them back as quick as you can. When you come up, get them back. It stops the motion. And make sure this is nice. I should pull on your Leo here. She's pretty good and steady. Can I push you? There you go. You want some of that tension. Try one more. And go right back to that lock. Watch 1 foot, 2 foot, lock. Here we go. Kick. And 1 foot, 2 foot, lock. Did you see your second foot? No, try again. I'm gonna come help you with your second foot. There we go. Go. You were afraid you're gonna kick me. Going straight up. These are great to work on against the wall, belly towards wall, so that you don't try to cut the corners. I like to work on going so you can practice going flat, hips flat to the wall, and then the turning of the shoulders. So if I had a wall, but I have a step here, and we have a window there, so I can't really show you the video very good with that window there against the other wall. But put your beam, floor beam, close up to the wall, or practice this close up to the wall so you can practice that turn. It's very helpful. Always want to end up every practice, since this is the end of bars and beam, we always want to work on our splits and our shoulder flexibility. If you don't remember the shoulder flexibility drill, let me turn. We can go over to this door. So arms, hands on the door, and you're piking.
pike. Try to get everything lower than those arms, shoulder width apart, and really pressing. Hold this for 30 seconds. So you can stretch, feel the stretch here. Whenever we're doing our handstands, we want this to be a straight line. If it starts making an angle here, the judges have to mark off minuses. So, and plus, when you have to bend your arms forward to do all this tumbling and acro, it's not good for your lower back, because if your arms are not straight, then your back has more pressure on it. So your back compensates for it. And I want you guys to be safe. So this is the better way, it's the better technique, and this is the best way to protect you and keep you from getting injured. Then right here, after 30 minutes, you're gonna slowly, I wanna say slowly, bring your elbows in to the door 10 times without letting them spread out. You want them to go straight down. You should feel it. Take your time with this. Know that you're doing something good for your body. You're doing something good for your gymnastics. This is going to help you be able to move better and do better in anything that you're wanting to do. And then next, after you do this 10 times, we have splits. Each side split. Our side splits, right and left, and then your middle split. You need to hold it for 1 to 2 minutes. And make sure that your legs are straight. We don't want to be opening those hips like doggy fire hydrant. Keep both bones here facing the front. Make sure your knees are pushing tight. Toes pointed. Reach past your feet. And also practice reaching back and trying to look back at your foot. It's going to help later on when we do ring kicks and ring leaps. So those are the big stretches. Flexibility is important. Strength is important. Just keep moving. And I can't wait to see you guys soon. Have an awesome day.